and welcome to Third Act Film. Today we're going to be discussing the possibility of Matthew McConaughey joining the Marvel Universe. I'm Todd James, and with me today is James Forbes.
Hello.
Great introduction there. So we've both come up with a few ideas of who we think he could potentially play, but before we get into that, I want to discuss the character he's been rumoured to be playing, which is Norman Osborn. So you go first. What are your thoughts on that?
Norman Osborn. Now he's the Green Goblin, right?
Correct.
Green Goblin, and he dresses up like a goblin.
um, you could put it like that, yeah.
And we think Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
the brilliant guy that is Matthew
Academy
McConaughey,
Award winner Matthew
Academy
McConaughey.
Award winner
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is going to dress up like a goblin.
Well, I'm sure. I don't think it'll be 100% comic accurate. Green and purple.
Yeah.
Like a Flash Gordon bad
Didn't
guy.
they do one where he was just all green?
Yeah, the Willem Dafoe in the Sam Raimi
Yeah.
films. That was much better. Still not great. He just looked like a
I don't think it
evil
ever
motorbike
can be
rider.
great when your name grape. When I don't think it ever be really good if your name is Green Goblin. Like, let's leave it. Call him something else, or just don't do that.
So you
part
would
of it.
rather have, like in The Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
when what was his name? Chris somebody, whoever the actor is,
Yeah.
turns up and he's like, I have goblinitis, and then just Talia al Ghul's. You'd rather have Matthew McConaughey do that.
Yeah. I'd rather he's just the businessman. Perhaps his child is a Green Goblin
Hobgoblin.
or Hobgoblin or whatever.
An even
dumb
better
name.
name.
No. Yeah. I've got my list of suggestions.
All right, you
far
go
better.
first. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Adam Warlock.
Okay. Reasons. Convince me.
Convince you, sure. So, he is the perfect man, which I'm fairly
right.
sure Matthew McConaughey is near to.
Well. Right.
Yeah.
So you're talking like Sahara Matthew McConaughey, like ripped, slightly too short arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get that on board. And I think his performance in True Detective, where he was a bit mad. I think that's a polite way of saying it.
Yeah, you could put it like that.
I think this is the same kind of torture that Adam Warlock goes through of being created, he doesn't have a family, and the only family he had, he killed. Oh yeah, spoiler.
Oh man.
Spoiler of a film
ruined the
that
whole
isn't
film.
even happening.
Right.
Adam Warlock is created by scientists, and then kills all said scientists because he can.
Because he can.
Yeah, and there's also a cheeky little scene in the end credit scenes of Guns of Galaxy, not just with Howard the Duck, but there's a cocoon in the background.
Well, it started in the end scene of Thor: The Dark World,
Yeah,
where there was this big, funny-looking, flowery cocoon
yeah.
thing.
And at the end of Guns of Galaxy, after the whole rumble and tumble that happened there, the cocoon was wide open. So they may have already set up. They may not use that, but they've already set up.
So they showed you Howard the Duck, and what you thought was Matthew McConaughey as Howard the Duck.
No.
No. All right.
No.
Okay.
I think it was Seth Green who did Howard the Duck, actually. Don't quote me on that.
What?
Stop quoting me.
The voice of him in the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I've heard that as well. Actually, now you say it.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. My
Sure.
first suggestion. I think Doctor Doom. Now I know we have Doctor Doom coming up in a film.
Yeah.
In about 2 months.
But Toby Kebbell?
Toby Kebbell, yeah, I think that's his name.
He's a really good actor.
He is really good, and he is potentially good for the role. Apart from that, he's not going to be actually playing Doctor Doom the way Doctor Doom is in the comics.
Oh, okay.
And he's just going to be playing some young, funny guy who has a horrible accident. And just in the comics, Doctor Doom is one of the most feared, most powerful, bad guys in the universe. And he's kind of, the one thing that this Fantastic Four will do better than the more recent two,
yeah,
is Doctor
everything?
Doom, because
Oh.
they were most things as well, but because the Doctor Doom in those two films is just laughably bad, but in the comics he is just so ridiculously scary and powerful, and I think Matthew McConaughey could bring that. The one thing I'd be hesitant on is him doing a Latvian accent, because we just saw Age of Ultron. The Sokovian accent's also a real country.
Yeah.
Not great across the board.
No. A lot of people
No.
gave up.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, come on, give me another pitch. Well, first of all, what do you think of my idea of Doctor Doom? You don't like it? Okay, your next idea.
I like the idea of Toby Kebbell more. I think he's a phenomenal actor,
Hmm.
and I know a lot of people were crying about him being a hacker. I think it's important.
Sorry, a blogger.
Sorry, a blogger
Right.
who uses computers a lot, but I think it just helps explain a lot when he does stuff, and you're just like, oh yeah, because he's a hacker, job done. That's why he can steal all this money, or that's why he can access all these areas.
But
It's
in
just easier to explain. And then on top of that, he has superpowers.
but in the comics, he is super powerful with like technology and also magic, and he's also like the king of his country or like the ruler of his country.
Yeah, that's
If
pretty
if that
yeah.
guy can't achieve it, I'm pretty sure little guy sitting in his basement tapping away on his laptop isn't
Yeah.
going to be able to achieve it.
We'll see.
Well, we will see. I'm
We'll
sure.
see. Yeah.
Right.
My other suggestion was Nova.
Okay.
Now, Nova is they've been as a corporation been introducing Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Nova is like the lead space cop, and he goes
Space
around.
cops, Matthew McConaughey. Right.
Yeah. He goes around solving crimes and helping out people. I think he's got like an all body like space suit thing that he flies around in.
Great. I
Uh,
want one.
I think Matthew McConaughey will deliver on that perfectly, and he can join the Guardians of the Galaxy for a bit, but then do his own thing, and then possibly come and save Earth now and then.
So one thing I'm thinking for you is you're obviously picturing him as like the hero, as the muscle-bound, super handsome. Men want to be him, and ladies want to be with him.
Yeah.
I feel like he has intentionally tried to distance himself from that.
Like lead role.
Yeah, that failed part of his career, if you like. I mean, he earned more doing those films than I ever will,
Yeah.
but failed compared to his Oscar win, etc., etc. But you don't care? You think he can combine the two?
Well, in Dallas Buyers Club, he was kind of the hero in that. He's kind
Yeah.
of a troublesome hero.
Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah.
He was kind of a skinny weirdo.
Yeah. And in True Detective, he's still a good guy, but it's.
Did you watch True Detective?
I saw some of it. Okay.
Okay, right.
But he's a detective.
We better move on.
All right.
Another idea I
swiftly.
thought was for him to play Dormammu, who is one of the biggest Doctor Strange villains. He's sort of a demon type thing, and he looks a bit like Ghost Rider in that he has a flaming head,
Mm.
but he is dressed more like a wizard. He sort of has the robes and stuff, and that way that would obviously have to be motion captured. And I know that one thing fellow third act contributor Amy has said is that she thinks he's too famous, almost too recognizable to be.
His face covered.
Yeah, so if he's, a flaming head,
Yeah.
then that might.
But
you know.
if that flaming head says, all right, all right, all right,
Okay,
people
that
would
obviously,
know.
if they read through the Doctor Strange script, and the bad guy has a catchphrase,
Yeah.
I think that's going to get vetoed.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that won't make it to the final script.
okay.
But yeah, it would be motion captured, and he, like you said with True Detective, which I've just found out you didn't actually watch, we know that he has this sort of intensity, and almost this power, this presence, and they can make him taller than he is and wider than he is, and just sort of on more on fire than he is.
Ooh.
Ooh, always a good
Ooh,
sign.
I like what he's done there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you got next?
That's the right idea.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. But can you beat this one?
All right. This is your trump card.
Moon Knight.
Okay. Terrible idea. Worst of your three. Carry on.
Now, Moon Knight is pretty much Batman, but with split personality.
Okay.
Like there are many faces of the moon. He has many faces of himself.
Great.
And
I'm
Ed-
sold.
any great actor would love a role like this, where you have, like Leonardo DiCaprio's got a role coming up soon, where he's playing a guy with like over 200
Yeah.
personalities.
Yeah. I've heard about that.
So, I think this would be great for Matthew McConaughey. He can really get into it. He's not necessarily a good guy, and he's very conflicted. And it just loads of layers, like an onion.
But I don't see Matthew McConaughey doing a lot of physical fighting, like punching bad guys in the face, and I know that Moon Knight wears a pretty an outfit, his superhero costume that covers most of his body and face, so you can fake that, but I don't know. I don't really see him as Moon Knight. I've been pretty down on all your suggestions. I'm not a good person.
So what's your final one then?
This, once again, I've saved my best till last. Maximus the Mad, who is now in the upcoming Inhumans film. Maximus is almost definitely going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the brother of Black Bolt, who is, if you like, the main Inhuman. And he's just kind of a crazy, once again, very intense, big old eyes, big smile, which we know Matthew McConaughey has. And he also, because Black Bolt can't talk, he can talk, it just doesn't end well. He does a lot of monologuing when they're together, and he sort of has this otherworldly quality. And the Mad is part of his name. I don't know if it's on his birth certificate. First name Maximus, last name the Mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's probably the one I would most see him as.
Actually, out of all your suggestions, probably your best one.
Thank you.
I can see that one.
Out of your suggestions, it's the best one as well.
Anyway, what do you guys listening? What do you guys think?
What was the best one we suggested, or do you have any better suggestions?
Yeah.
Probably you do. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna be Norman Osborn, but
yeah,
yeah,
which I'd be happy with.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, thanks guys for listening.
Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.